What's up, guys? So today on this Shoky Itty Bitty Transformers Committee review, we do have something new, at least close to being new, and it is the Newage number 50 Scott, or otherwise known as J59 Jeep, which I think that might be a reference to the original Takara Tomy version, or the original Diaclone version. I could be wrong. But here we go. It does have this nice box. Got some nice box artwork there of an actual drawing of the figure. Looks pretty cool. All the big chunky hands there. All the nice Chinese writing. Come around there. It says Newage. You got vehicle mode, bot mode. Come to the back. And you always get a little tiny, person to drive around in it, which we don't get. It's kind of annoying that they continually advertise tiny people and other things that we don't get to have. And then you come over here, you get the little, UPC and then stuff on the top here, very much like old school. Start, change, finish. And come to the bottom, you got that, and then it shows an alternate thing there, sort of. It is what it is. He is a Jeep. He is definitely a Jeep. You got warnings and such and things. It's pretty cool. Age 15 plus. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And I didn't do an out the box for this because I got impatient and the wife was sick, so I didn't get a chance to do that for the patrons. So it is what it is. He does have instructions in there, which I actually have not even looked at because I just figured it out the hard way. And the way I do it works. Guys, make sure you go check out the Taro video. That is the Transform and Roll Out video, in case you've never known what that stands for. So you can see how to transform him from bot mode to Jeep mode. And speaking of Jeep mode, there it is. Tiny itty bitty Jeepy. I mean, really a tiny Jeepy. Sorry, bumping the wire here because there's just not enough room to work. And yeah, there he is. Looking pretty good. I've got some of these dry transfer stickers here that I got from Show Z Store, which is where I purchased this. He was on sale. It's already a not very expensive figure, and then they had him on sale, so I went ahead and bought him. And as of recording this, I have Wheeljack on the way. So if you're interested in seeing that, almost getting complete with my ARC crew. There you go. So in this mode, you do have some seats in there. You do have a molded in steering wheel. He does come with this quintessential rear turret / sensor thingy. And, if you're keen on it, you can put it in either hole, but this is actually supposed to be here. For the most part, it drives around like that with spike. Does have a little translucent window, little molded in windshields is good. Has this nice double winch up front, silver painted headlights, yellow painted star there, Autobot logo on the fender, and of course on the hood. Some weird consistency there with the paint from those dry transfers. He does have a little bit of exposed robot parts, but for the most part you probably wouldn't notice. These little thingies hanging down here probably hinder some functionality. The wheels are pinned, but none of them rotate super freely. That one's close. That one's pretty close. And then of course you have painted taillights back here and a little itty bitty back wheel that does come off. So there's that. So you do have an accessory for him in this mode, in fact, because you have this little soft top. And I don't know that this version of Hound ever actually used this for disguise or anything, but they do give it to you. It is molded in shape. As far as I can tell, there's no other use for it. I know that some versions of a Hound toy will use this as a shield. This one does not. But you do have two posts right there, and then it just sort of direct fits like so. And in fact, this is how it is shown for the most part in the instructions and how it comes in the box. So that's pretty cool. Now, for comparison, we do need to have some of his other, ARC crew. I happen to have, Mirage here. Of course, an F1 car is not necessarily meant to scale with anything. Do have the reissue of Bumblebee to his more kind of proper proportions, I think. We have one of the early boys with the Datsuns, which I think this is, eliminate the not necessarily real car. I feel like that's a fairly accurate thing, because Jeeps are not very big, like realistically. And last, certainly not least, one of the original versions of the ratchet mold for size. I mean, this van is probably supposed to be significantly bigger, but that's one of those oddball ones, you know. And don't have anybody else from the art crew, unfortunately, that can represent. No big truck boys or anything else like that. So, you know, it is what it is. So pull these out of here. The little bumblebee man out of there. Bumblebee tuna. Okay. So let's just go ahead and remove the top, and we will get lined up for his transformation right after this break. Okay, so guys, by the way, if you want to see a video on how to transform from bot mode to Jeep mode, go watch the Taro video, in case everybody doesn't remember that. It drops on the same day. Sometimes you'll see that one over this one, but just make sure you go do that. All right, so one of the first steps is to go ahead and pull open this side panel and push it down just a little bit. There's a tab there and a tab there. It just kind of releases those things. We'll do it on both sides, and that will basically give us freedom to get our legs out, which are back here. Go ahead and split that, remove the rear wheel. Once that's split, you can just sort of open that up, and then everything just sort of starts exploding. It's not necessarily meant to do that right now, but that's what happened. So everybody just opens up like that, and then you can unbend at the knees. So there's big tabs right here. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. That go into there. And then first things first, we're going to work with the feet and legs. So we want to close this and slip that close. One thing that's cool is I like the way they integrate the seat into the bot. So we want to do that. And then, as you can see, the legs are essentially just going to unfold from here. And we need to untab them from each other, make our lives easier. Straighten out the legs. And we'll start with the left leg here. So you take the seat and utilizing these hinges, just tuck it right up inside there. Very nice little spot there. Then we're going to rotate this on this ball joint. Flip that 180 degrees. The wheel automatically kind of wants to tuck itself up, so just tuck the wheel away. And then you've got the toes hidden right there, so pull that out. Then go ahead and close this. You got slot there, tab there. There you go. And then slot there, tab there. And voila, we have a foot. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. So grab this piece. Flip it up in there. There's your back of the leg. Untab that. Swivel this around. Bring that up. Bring the toe out. But you have to rotate 180 first. Or second. At some point. Either way. And then once this is down. Now you also have this circular post that goes into that slot there. Like that. And then same thing on the other side. And there's your big chunky feetums. Chunky feetums. Sounds like a Star Wars character. Okay, and now it looks weird because you kind of have to get the legs like that. So once you get your yellow stripes together, and then that will open up all of this for the torso to come up. Now you want to take the fender sections here, and they will swivel right there. And then you want the front wheels to push inward like that. So this big tab there pushes down towards the body, pulling this one up. Then you want the arm to swivel up and spin 180 degrees to where the shoulder joint is now at the top. Extend the arm utilizing the elbows. The hand unfolded itself, so I don't have to worry about that. Take this little guy, tuck that in there, close that up. Now you have your whole forearm ahead of you. Bring the arm down like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring all this out. Straighten it up. Flip out the hand. Flip that away. Flip that in. Then we're going to push the wheel inward. Like so. Okay. Swivel this out. And then rotate 180 degrees. Where am I at here? So the shoulder is at the top of the joint. Rotate the whole thing 180, which is the thing I forgot to do at the beginning. I was like, something's not facing the right way. Okay, so that's going to be your sides of the robot. But in the meantime, we need to bring out our head. So we need to swivel that there and swivel that there. So you can see how we've extended the body. And then the head will push up and through like so. And then straighten it up, swivel right there to put away the Autobot logo, and push it back down. Bring the windshield back up because you're going to need clearance. All right, so you need to be able to get the wheels inside of here. Like that, along with the fenders. The front fenders are generally what's having a hard time clearing. There we go. And then there's a couple small tabs that these will tab into to solidify the front of the robot. And then you've got all these guys going on back here. Go ahead and close the windshield just for backpack covers. And then you've got these two little tabs there that want to go into that area there. And that is a fairly tight locking point. And we'll definitely hear that snap. Since that's kind of a main hinging point for the body, it definitely becomes a difficult piece to work with later. But if we did everything correctly, we now have a Hound in robot mode. And he does look good. Look at that green boy. Cleans up pretty decently. A little bit of kibble going on back here. A couple tabs that don't seem to do much of anything in this mode. And as far as I can tell, no weapon storage on him at the moment. And even though he does have this little post hanging out the back, as far as I can tell, the wheel that was on the back will not stay there anymore. So that makes me sad that we have to remove parts. So there is some parts forming involved here. Sorry, that was a bit of a stutter. I had a bit of a stutter there. Okay. When they're this short, it is really hard to work with them. So, all right. I'll probably have to punch in the after. Here, let me. Come on, focus. So you can check out that awesome head sculpt. And those blue eyes and the kind of whitish, khaki-ish face. It does look pretty good. And of course the winch and everything on the front there is nice. I did apply a very, very small Autobot logo there and a very small star sticker there that I got out of a random Gundam kit. Also, let's see here. Oh, wait a second, because he does have accessories. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so his arm is just on a ball joint here, so you can do all the things necessary. You do get bicep swivel. I'm sorry, technically elbow swivel. But you also get double jointed elbows, so you get a full, complete crunch of the arm, and all the yellow painted details you could ever want are totally there. You even get the yellow triangle on the back. His fist is just ball joint mounted, as we saw during transformation. He does have a swivel, though it does look a little funny. He does have ab crunch, which completely opens everybody up there, but it works. I like it. It does do good enough. He can do perfect Jean-Claude, like you would expect, and he can kick all the way up there for a nice chorus line, and a double jointed knee from transformation gets him into a crane kick very easily. Somehow I never bothered to put all of that together in one fell swoop. And then the tab right there does limit some movement, but if you bring the leg out, you can kick way back. He does have thigh swivel up there and nicely covered up. I always appreciate that. Like I said, we already got the double jointed knees, but for the ankle, we're very limited for a Newage figure. So we get a lot of this, which, by the way, more hidden Autobot logo sticker that has come off. I had to reapply the hood logo repeatedly because they kept coming out wrong. All right, and then he's even though it's a ball joint, his feet are so chunky. It's kind of hard to get anything. He gets a whole lot of outward movement for some reason. And this is there's no other way his legs could go. I mean, like, I wouldn't even think that you could rotate the legs around and it would make a difference. But I like that you still get tail lights built in there. You get these little guys that I think are supposed to represent the original vehicle wheels, like back in the day. And if you were to move these green bits around, it would make his shoulders appear in really strange spots. But I believe that is exactly where the shoulders are meant to be. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and bring in something that's shoulder mounted. And you've got his initial, like, rocket gun, I think, technically. And it does actually fold out so he could hold it like normal if you were so inclined. But it is, of course, meant to go in his shoulder post here, which was revealed when you put the windshield down. And there we go. There we have Hound. And actually, I'm going to bring up an image of the G1 cartoon over there so you can see the detail work. Now, of course, things change a little bit from the front fenders. You know, it basically shrinks it down because of the way you flip it around. So, like the Autobot logo and stuff kind of... Oh, let me find the right... Yeah, there we go. So the Autobot logo and the star just sort of disappear a little, but you can see what we're working with here. You know, the fact they got the stripes all there, especially across the crotch and things like that, was actually pretty cool, in my opinion. Now you also get his, I think this was either scanner or hologram gun. I can't remember exactly which it is, but it does come with this nice conical effect that you can remove. Because I think he was either using it to scan something or he was using it to project a hologram. Because I remember, like, in multiple early episodes, it was shown that between himself and Mirage, they could make I'm pretty sure that's how they made that giant hologram to distract Devastator. So that's actually pretty cool. He looks nice. As far as I can tell, there's no weapon storage. You know, we got some tabs back here and stuff, but as far as I could tell, there's no way to store any of his weapons, and that does annoy me. And then, like, even his turret from regular mode, or from Jeep mode, doesn't really do much of anything. I mean, like, I guess you could use it like a sword. Like, it's just that's what it is. It's just a sword now. There's not even anywhere to plug that in, like to put it away. It's kind of sad. You know, much like with the wheel. And, like, the fact that tab right there doesn't fit the wheel is silly. Okay, so other things he does come with while in this mode. He comes with another leg, but it's not for him. So this is them doing a Build-A-Figure. He comes with parts for Autobot Spike. So it is the spare leg, so to speak, of himself. You know, it is a bigger, chunkier version, obviously not meant to transform. So they're doing an Autobot Spike, and I don't remember where the other pieces are going to come from, because it feels like they're going to do mostly the torso and everything all at once, but then, like, a couple other ones just happen to come with these. Maybe it was with, like, the Ratchet 2.0, I think, had, like, an arm or something for him, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't care that much, but apparently Autobot Spike is enormous compared to some of the other Autobots. Okay, and then, of course, he comes with the cage for when they captured Ravage. Now, it does not come with the Ravage. I just put him in there. So this is the Ravage that comes with the Soundwave. And originally, I thought it was going to be too small, like, for the cage. And then once I put him in there, I was like, oh, no, I think that's pretty much it. No. It's pretty close. and it does shut like that. Now I made the assumption that it goes that way because opening the cage like a ramp wouldn't make a lot of sense. You do have to assemble this, and it does have the Newage logo right there, looking a lot like an M, if we're honest with ourselves. But it's cool that you can have that option. The only thing that does suck is that like Hound has fallen into that category of Transformer where he doesn't have swap out hands. So it'd be nice to be able to have like a pointing hand or one of some of the other features that some of his previous Autobots have come with. But, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So, speaking of previous Autobots, let's bring in a few for comparison. Let's start off small here. We'll start out with some Cliff. With some Cliff. That's what I'm going with. All right, so the Cliff Jumper here in the Bumblebee 2.0 mold. Sorry, he's really finicky and small, so I'm just trying to get him like that. So, oops, sorry if that was all blurry. So, tiny little Cliff Jumper, like so. I have not messed with these little guys in a while. So, those legs are super loose now over time. Okay, and then we'll bring in Brawn, which still a really good figure. Then Jazz, which I feel is kind of correct. Jazz is just a bit taller. One of the Datsun Bros, definitely taller. I feel like they're gonna do a 2.0 of these guys eventually. I feel like that's just something the fans have wanted. Like they were good for when they were, but they are based off of the old MP, not the cartoon. Okay, and we bring in Ironhide back here. So we're getting some of our height back. And then we bring in Big Bot, towering over everybody. And I feel like this is pretty close. Like, this is a pretty tight ARC crew, like, realistically. Now, mind you, it's not everybody, because I do have other ones over here in vehicle mode, just hiding off screen here for the other comparison, in case you're wondering. But I think, like, this is pretty solid. I mean, like, once I got Wheeljack in here, and of course I have Ratchet, he's just off to the side at the moment. Also, I wanted to get Mirage in there for extra height comparison, because they kind of work together a lot. And I completely forgotten how much of a mess the Mirage transformation is. So there's that. I'll get him in here. So like I said, most of the original ARC crew, good to go. So, alright guys, let me know what you think about this Hound. I actually find it pretty cool. I digs it. I mean, transformation can be a little wonky. The biggest problem is, as you'll see in the Taro video, the little clip that holds the center torso / crotch together. It is just a problem. It is a scary potential engineering failure, because that may just snap as you're trying to take it apart. But as this goes, I like him. I think it's got plenty of character. I think they are doing their own new scale, and I know some people think that certain bots are too short or certain bots are too tall, but I think as it goes, they all fit in well together. I mean, maybe we'll see a Jazz 2.0 or a Datsun Bros 2.0 eventually. I know we have the 2.0 Ratchet and Ironhide, but I'm very happy with the ones I already have. I don't think that I need a different one. That's just me. But until then, guys, I will see you next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding. Sorry, I was yawning. It's a long Saturday morning already.